Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the National Anthem. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope that you're all doing good. So this is my second time being a presenter, and you can't imagine how happy and joyful I am because of it, and because of the fact that I'm standing in front of such a beautiful and wonderful audience like you. So as some of you know and some of you don't, I'm Zainab Sidihida, a 16 years old Common Core student. Dear TEDsters, honored guest speaker, instructor, invitees, welcome to ELARAKI TED Club's MasterClass series. So today we're here today to celebrate the letter T, which stands for technology in the acronym TED. This masterclass is going to be a combination of four talks, two about technology and two about other topics in line with what TED stands for. So I want you all so you are all welcome. So a wonderful composer, lyricist, guitarist, and pianist met another honeyed and soft melodic voice and decided to break the world with their amazing duet. So I want you all to welcome at full volume our talented students who are going to perform Perfect by Ed Sheeran, Raya Al-Hamrain Awab Admo.
I found a love for me. Darling, just dive right in and follow my lead. Well, I found a girl, beautiful and sweet. I never knew you were the someone waiting for me, 'cause we were just kids when we fell in love, not knowing what it was. I will not give you up this time, baby. I'm dancing the dark with you between my arms, barefoot on the grass, listening to our favorite song. You're underneath my breath. I whispered underneath this, honey, you look perfect tonight. Sorry, thank you.
I could never relate. They didn't lie when they said that our entertainment is our TED Club's trademarks. So, I am Khalid. I am the founder and CEO of the Moroccan Institute of Technology, or MIT. I aspire to make it one of the youngest and best entrepreneurs here in Marrakesh, and why not eventually in Morocco. In 2018, I was able to start the Canadian International School K-12 in Tangier as a business development director at the age of 20. And the use of technology in such a challenging business, in such a, in such a challenging business with limited resources made the work more entertaining, more straightforward and successful. These were the exact same words that our ambitious and brilliant guest speaker have shared with us. So let's give the most wonderful and amazing welcome to Mr. Khalid Rajid.
Thank you for that amazing presentation. It is such a pleasure to be with you guys here today. So my existence or my presence with you here today is to discuss something that's really important, something that you guys are using, yet I'm just going to be straightforward with you guys. You don't understand really well. Who has a phone? That's a stupid question. See? Yeah, everybody's got a phone nowadays. Who has a laptop? Perfect. I'm gonna make like a jump here. I'm a big fan of movies. My favorite movies or genre is sci-fi, science fiction, right? So, since I was a little boy, I used to watch science fiction movies, and I used to see like these amazing things that what they can do as opposed to us human beings. The abilities that they have to think faster than any human being combined. So I'm here today to speak or to talk about artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence. What is artificial intelligence? That's the first question I'm here to answer. The number two question, well, the second question, I'm going to get to it later. Artificial intelligence, as the phrase indicates, it's an intelligence that is artificial. But what is intelligence really? That's the term I would like to start with. Intelligence is simply information processing at a certain speed. Right? So to explain, say for example, I take a student from here, his IQ, intelligence quotient, or EQ, emotional quotient, both of them, those quotients are based on two things. Your ability to process information at a certain speed. The fact that you can resolve a riddle as fast as a robot makes you intelligent, right? Right. The fact that you can resolve a riddle better than somebody else makes you smarter or more intelligent than the other person. So, intelligence is data processing. We're not going to go into detail about multiple intelligence and all that. No. Data processing. Now, artificial. What is artificial? By definition, artificial is something that was synthesized by human beings to serve a certain purpose. It was created by us people to serve a certain purpose. But the key thing here is that it already exists. It is a synthesis of something that already exists. So intelligence already exists. So right now we're creating a certain intelligence. So we're artistically creating it. Cool. Now that we have the definitions down, I want to move on to the second question. That's like the coolness of this talk. Do you think that when we're going to get to a certain level, or we're going to create something that's so magnificent, such as a super intelligent AI, are we going to be able to control it? I want you to think about that for a second, right? Are we going to be able to control a super intelligent AI? Can you control your phone first? Can you control your laptop? I think it's the opposite right now. I think if I take your phones right now and I say, hey, can you please give me your phones? I'm going to keep them just for 1 day. What would the answer be? Of course not. Of course no. Maybe if I said, I can take your laptop. You know, the level of love there just, you know, differs between the love of your first son and second son. You know? Yeah. You see, there are some sons when you hear, like, say for example, I'm son number 1, I fell down the stairs. Who was it? Son number 1. Oh, it's okay. It's fine. But I'm son number 2, I fell down the stairs. Oh, who was it? Son number 2. Oh my God. That's your phone, right there. So you can't live without your phones. So, talking about it, actually, it's kind of mind-boggling. Because if you're in my place right now, which I'm sure you are, you will have that feeling or that, you know, kind of voice on the back of your head that cannot answer the question really. Because for some reason we cannot marshal the slightest answer to the question of whether we can actually control artificial intelligence or not. I'm going to ask you a question. Artificial intelligence, or any technology that was built, it is based on electric circuits, which is 1,000,000 times more efficient than biological synapses, things that we have here, neurons. Functions 1,000,000 times faster. And its durability, well, that's something that we've made a guarantee. So, take for example, in comparison, one machine, artificial intelligent, super artificial intelligent machine, and take your team of the best MIT and Stanford graduates. I'm pretty sure because that machine does not sleep, does not feel, it does not do anything that makes us or makes it human. Okay? So that machine will go over 20,000 of the science that the human being, average human being, got through in 1 week. Or maybe less. What if we give it a year? 2 years? How about 10 years? In artificial intelligence, there is something that we call machine learning. There are algorithms that were developed by Google, by Microsoft, by many of the conglomerates of this business, particularly so that the machines can learn. Say, for example, Google. Now, whenever you want to type something, how to make potatoes with a lasagna. So the Google search gives you already like hypotheses of what you might be thinking about. Can you do that? No. No, that's Google. That's just Google. It's not even talk about facial recognition. Does anybody here have like an iPhone X? Max, X Max, 11, 12. All those phones have it, like one time I have like the director, pedagogical director in the Canadian school. I took her phone and I was like working on something, copying something from the phone, and it turned off. Like it went off the screen. So I tried to turn it, you know, to lock it, and it asked for my facial ID, face ID. And I put it against my face, and it didn't recognize me. What does that mean? It means that the phone knows who its owner is. Okay? The phone knows who its owner is. That's amazing. If we were in 1944, which is the exact date when the first computer was made, specifically for the purpose of deciphering the Lorentz cipher that was used by the Nazis to, you know, to have communications with them. the Colosseum computer, until 2021. So back in 1944, AI was at this stage, okay? If we take and think about the smartest human being that ever lived, most of the scientists would say it was John Van Wyn. So take, for example, this is the spectrum of intelligence. This is John Van Wyn, right here. This is you and me. And this is a chicken. No, wait. This is a chicken. We don't have to make this talk more depressing than it is. Yeah. So the spectrum of intelligence is actually something that's it goes beyond John Van Wyn. It's something that we were able to prove until now. Right? So imagine with me these machines that we're going to create, this artificial intelligence that we're going to create. Somehow, through learning machine algorithms, they learn that there is no stopping them. If actually intelligence is just a matter of information processing, it is just a matter of information processing. The abilities in the intelligence ability is an infinity for now, right now. So in the spectrum of intelligence, if these computers learn, if these artificial intelligent super machines learn that there is no ending to the intelligence that they can have, then where are we going to be? I'm going to talk about the personal side of it. I want you to think about the last time you saw an ant, or, I don't know, any kind of insect. I'm pretty sure some of you, not all of you, some of you were like, right? Do you know why we do that? No reason. It's just because we feel that we're more intelligent than that creature, and sometimes even if we don't pay attention, we just go for it. So my question is, what's going to stop artificial intelligence from doing the same to us? What's going to stop these machines that we're going to create to do the same thing to us later? I'm sure it's not going to be this, but it's going to be in another way, in a different way. Right? The last thing I want to talk about, or the last point I want to cover, is the latest hit of artificial intelligence is that there's a chip that goes into your brain and with which you can control many things. But the same way you can be controlled. It's not a chip based on nanotechnology, something that they put in your blood. They put like nanotechnology in your blood, and they can measure your vitalities, like your blood pressure, your sugar, glycemia, all that. But at the same time, they can control your bank account, your access to your home, what else? Your other people connections. The thing that we do, like we send you friends. I send you like a friend request on Facebook, okay? Next generation technology is going to be like that. Only you can get denied access to particular people. Say, for example, you're my friend, right? Your chip in your brain is connected to mine in a way, okay? But she is not my friend. So I cannot get access in a certain way, which is kind of scary. It's like we're going to become enslaved. And if you actually pay attention to all around you, all these social distancing behaviors, they are particular ways of training. Right? Social distancing, stay away. Why? Next time, next generation, oh, you don't have to say hi. You can say hi with your chip. It's fine. Okay? Because we're trying to stay away from diseases and creating more diseases. There are two opinions in the world, generally. The opinion of Mr. Elon Musk, the founder of SpaceX, Tesla, he says that artificial intelligence may be an existential threat to mankind. Like, if there is artificial intelligence now and ever, it's going to be the end of humanity. And there is your Bill Gates and Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg's, who say that it's actually something that we can coexist with, something that we can use. But you know what I say? I say that in the near future, or maybe right now, we're not human beings anymore. We're what you call a cyborg. Do you know what a cyborg is? Yeah. We're not in the level, because technically a cyborg is somebody who has things in his, that goes into his own existence, like in your body. But does anybody have like an Apple Watch? There you go. So it's the same. You can take it off now. In the future, you might not be able to take it off. So we're heading towards something that's inevitable. Because the only thing I say, like the only way I see that we're not going to get to that, maybe 3 or 4 things. Either we're going to get into a deadly nuclear war, or a comet is going to hit the Earth, or Justin Bieber is going to become the President of the United States of America. That's the only way. So, artificial intelligence is something that's coming. So we better get to know how to work it before it works us. Thank you.
Yeah, I think I've lost my 2 last brain cells trying to understand this. But lucky for Morocco, it still has such intelligent and great people. So anyways, here I'm about to give you a friendly reminder that our next guest speaker, our first guest speaker is going to have shared with us. Remember, being lazy is not bad, because when you're lazy, you look for simplicity. And when you look for simplicity, you start inventing. Just don't be mentally lazy. So that's what the exact idea that she saw was worth spreading. So let's welcome at full volume Hajar Shraibi.
Happiness wouldn't have a meaning without sadness. Wealth wouldn't have a meaning without poverty. Health wouldn't have a meaning without disease. Technology also wouldn't have a meaning without living a rather primitive life. As a proverb says, things are known through their opposites. Technology isn't a word, but actually a world where the impossible becomes possible, where you can find everything you need and discover your passion. Deeper than the ocean, faster than the sky, where you can fly as an eagle and reach all your goals. Technology is a passion for the girl who made with it her first invention. This girl is me. Everything started when I had to get the trash out, and I was that lazy slacker who always seeks simplicity and short ways. I'm a girl whose English teacher always tells her, "Stop being lazy." I'm a girl whose older sister always benefits from her laziness and takes most beautiful things she has. But this time, it's different. I had to do this task. I was angry, so I went to my bedroom trying to find a solution. And there you go. So imagine if you can get rid of garbage without going out or waiting for the garbage truck to pass, and you pass out because of its beautiful smell, no longer driving your car, then you see a whole area full of city garbage that remains either until it decomposes or it burns. Well, the idea is that in the future neighborhoods, we're gonna have on each one a large building, isolated from the external temperature. All houses' garbages are going to be moved there with one diameter road connected to each house. Those roads have to be in the basement. You may ask me, what about if garbage gets stuck in the stands, and how could it get into the rubbish bunker? Well, the answer is that the garbage must be organic. Why? Well, we're gonna benefit from the central biomass and obtain energy. A part of it is going to be used to attract the rest of the garbage. And the other part is going to be used in our life in many things, such as cooking, luminescence, heating, etc. Well, as you can see, we're gonna reach many things with nothing. Get rid of organic garbage with organic garbage. The secret, don't worry if you are lazy, because it's a power, it's a key. It leads you to simplicity, and simplicity leads you to the greatest inventions. Just don't be mentally lazy. Make from this failure what distinguishes you. As laziness looks for simplicity, technology makes life simple. It makes a lazy man a businessman, an architect, rich. It's actually like a friend. You know, a friend in need is a friend indeed. Well, do you remember when coronavirus disease began to spread? School closed, restaurants too, no traveling, no hanging out, no freedom. Tell me, what would you do without technology? What would you do without those 2 hours video call with your best friend every day? What would you do without playing Among Us and Fortnite? What would you do without watching all Netflix movies and series? Could we study without Google Meet and Classroom? I don't even want to think about the answers because I feel I'm really gonna have a depression. Well, technology became necessary in our lives in many fields, like medicine, sports, education, social communication, and inventions. Maybe one day someone is going to create a new planet using technology. People are trying to reach planets and galaxies using technology. So take advantage from this power since you have the opportunity. Maybe one day everything gonna turn to a dream. Thank you.
Wake up in the morning, thanks your robot helper, playing your favorite song while informing you about today's weather status. Also serving you some breakfast in bed. Very kind of him, not like if he was programmed to do so, but breakfast contains some organic cereal, some juice, coffee, and honey pancakes, if those are still a thing. Now, eat your breakfast while picking an outfit in your pop-out holographic display. Then afterwards, go take a shower. Not a normal shower, but arms coming out, robotic arms coming out of every wall, doing it all for you. Wash your body, your hair, brush your teeth for you. Get out all dry and dressed, hop in your self-driving vehicle to work. Now, we've all imagined a life like this while sleeping in history class. I mean, how cool would it be to live in such a world? I mean, I'm so curious what the Earth would look like with such technologies, or maybe not just the Earth. Who knows? Now, these technologies are way too advanced for our civilization, but we're going to it. Did I mention curious? Because that's the word I'm looking for. It's curiosity that pushed our civilization to what it is now. It's what drove our civilization to what it is now. It's what molded the human species and its thoughts, and therefore its actions. Curiosity, technology is the fruit of this curiosity. One makes an other. Now, technology is the fruit of this curiosity. And so it fulfills it. It pushed us to our limits, or should I say, it pushed our limits further away to open new areas of knowledge and to explore new alternatives. Instincts, survival. Here comes the Stone Age. 300,000 BC, from stone weapons, stone tools, we have moved from hunting to food production and farming. Evolve. Now, here comes the Bronze Age. In the Bronze Age, the most important thing in this era is metalworking, since it simply made more efficient weapons and tools for either farming, hunting, a lot of other things. We also see architecture. Architecture has become a lot more unique than the Stone Age. Also, we have clothing, as we see leather coats, leather capes, and arts, work arts, like sculpture, for example. Now here comes the Iron Age, intelligence, 1300 BC. This era is most known for the discovery of new ways to heat and forge iron into more deadly weapons and more efficient tools for either farming or many other things. Also, architecture has become a lot more developed than before, since here we see the appearance of four-room houses and a lot of new things. Weapons have become a lot more developed, since we see now iron swords, pickaxes, axes, and a lot of other things. Now, speaking of eras, when these first humans just once looked at the sky and said, "What are those little shiny, sparkly dots in the night sky? Are those some kind of glowing insect stuck in the sky? Are those some kind of gods?" Is that beyond my understanding? Yes, it was, but is it now? Our curiosity has pushed us make things from the simplest to the most sophisticated. From Galileo's telescope to the Hubble satellite telescope, these things are no longer a mystery. We can now easily make the difference between a gas giant and a rocky planet, or a nebula and a red dwarf. Let's just take a closer example. The moon, the closest celestial body to us. It has been orbiting the Earth for over 4 billion years. Now, when these same humans just looked at the moon and said, "That must be a place, I want to go there. One day I'm gonna go there." Is that heaven? Is that some kind of second world with these own creatures and everything? Well, unfortunately, they didn't make it to the Apollo trips. Of course, they died. But do you know what didn't die? Their curiosity. Their wanting to know what's behind that wall. And so, 1969, Apollo 11. Now, the moon is no longer a mystery as well. Now, what I'm trying to clear out by this idea is that everything happens for a reason. We all know that. But the main reason behind our civilization evolving and developing is nothing else but our curiosity, our hunger to know what's behind that wall. And let's make a pickaxe and break it down. See through. Things will become a lot clearer, wouldn't they? Wouldn't they? Well, that was awkward. I know, not everybody likes silence, but it was definitely intentional. I wanted to make you guys uncomfortable. I know some of y'all just wish to have some kind of remote to quickly speed up time to the end of the speech. I'm so curious though, how would it look to have some kind of remote to quickly speed up time and just pass, quickly pass? So curious. See where I'm going there? Thank you.
Thank you, Omar. I just love how this club keeps on reminding me how much of a talentless girl I am. Because as you can see, we're having a second musical performance. That's one of our rarest and most perfect pianists that we have in our school, which share with you guys. So please make some noise for Safia Bindani. would love to let our president and vice president come up and take my place right here and ask our guest speaker, Mr. Khalid, some meaningful questions that would be helpful for all of us. So please give the loudest welcome to our Miss President Aya Berkoush and Vice President Masah Shadi.
Hi there, that is such an honor to have you here answer our questions. Thank you so much, by the way. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Aya Berkoush. I am the president of this club. And I'm really interested in technology, although I'm not that smart, but whatever. This is my friend. She's actually my friend. She's the vice president of this club.
Well, nice to meet you, sir. I'm Musah Shadi, and I'm the vice president of this wonderful club. Well, it taught me a lot of things, and hopefully it will also teach me a lot of things today about technology and artificial intelligence, and well, here we go.
Wait, is your mic actually working? Oh, okay. As my friend Omar said before, that is really awkward. And I can switch mics with Wissam. Yeah.
Thank you so much. First of all, I would like to thank Mr. Husam for preparing and organizing this event. It is such a pleasure to be hosted by such a reputed school, as well as such wonderful team and people. As you said, technology is something that's very intriguing, and we are making steps forward that are very important, as well as they are big. Because if you think about it, time in the 70s or the 80s or 90s, for that matter, is not the same as time right now. Everything is faster right now. Food is faster. Biology is faster. Medicine is faster. Everything is faster nowadays. So technology is the reason why that happens. But particularly, I think personally, the reason why I've created MIT is because I think that technology should be something that is used since the beginning of, yeah, thank you. Hello? No.
Oh, yeah, oh, that was loud.
Technology is something that I would like it to be something accessible to everybody. Accessible not in terms of materials, because everybody has technology nowadays. Everybody's got the phone. Your little brother has a phone now. So I'm talking about knowledge of what's inside. How, for example, I would like to be able to tell you, if I ask you about how can you make a phone from scratch? How can you program it? How can you kind of program a certain person to it? So here, what I'm talking about is the source of everything, okay?
Yeah.
So the source of the phone, the purpose that it serves is what we're talking about. So we cannot get to that point before we go through the basics, before we go through how does a robot work? How do you create a robot? For which reason did you create it? How much time did it take you? So that's why we exist here. So that's it.
Wait, I think you kind of answered my first question, but how might technology affect the world, or more precisely, our future?
Can you repeat the question?
How might technology affect the world, or more precisely, our future?
I think it already is, because, okay, I'm saying that because I'm from the 1900s. 1900s, like 1990 or so. But for the millennia people, like such as yourselves, you were born into technology. You were not born into a time where there was no technology at all. I was born in a time there was no TV. We didn't have access to the TV. Like I remember this scene from Grown Ups, when like someone's kids, they were in a lake house and they were like, "Hey dad, what's the thing attached to the back of the TV?" And his dad said, "That's the rest of the TV." So like back at that time there was like big, huge sets, and now everything is in your phone again. Yeah. So the future is almost here, almost, because the impact is basically, to answer your question, the impact is basically up to us. Because as I was talking about in my speech earlier, we cannot constrain something that's more intelligent than us. It's just logic. We're going to be in a kind of a slippery slope, something that we call a slippery slope, yeah. Because you created something, now it's going to outsmart you in a way or another, because it outthinks you all the time. If you think one step ahead, it's thinking 5, maybe 6, maybe even 100 steps ahead of you. So we have to be careful when we're creating these gadgets, when we're creating these softwares. By the way, I want to talk about the fact that in the movies, they're creating an image of artificial intelligence like robots, machines, like metal machines.
Yeah.
No. Because technology is something of an abstract thing. Yes, you can identify a phone, but if I tell you Siri, do you know Siri? You guys you know Siri or Alexa?
Yeah.
So what's Alexa and what's Siri? They are artificial intelligence. It's like you're talking to a person and it's answering you. And even more, you ask them to give you certain things that not everybody would know. That is both cool and dangerous. It is both cool and also it is dangerous, because it's like you're talking to a machine and you're telling it, "Please, Siri, could you tell me what's wrong with me?" And it actually gives you like psychological. That's
a door not to open.
Maybe it's going to be like that. In the future, you're not going to have to go to a psychiatrist anymore. Everything is in your gadget. Or maybe you're going to buy something, some kind of gadget in your home. It's going to be your psychic, your doctor, whatever. You're not going to have to go to the doctor anymore. You're just going to have to get into a pod. Look, I'm not getting these information from anywhere. I'm just going to movies and just start noticing, seriously. Yeah. Because some of the, if you go back to, like for example, MI1, Mission Impossible, Impossible Mission 1. Like Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
The gadgets that were in the first MI, if you were back in that age, and you look at it, you were like, wow. How are they doing that?
Yeah.
That's not possible. Does that machine exist? It does now, or way better. Now in MI4, MI3, there are machines that we didn't think or we don't think exist. They do. We have to be very cautious and very aware about what we human beings can do.
Yes.
So it is up to us, actually. The impact of technology, it depends on us. If we program these machines, something that I don't think it's possible, to program these machines to feel like us, to consider values and virtues like us, because if a machine learns the way we can, what's to say that we can actually constrain it? Yeah. It can go and get away from our goals,
yep.
And it can turn on us. And probably it might realize that we are what's wrong with this world. That's a threat.
That's pretty accurate, though.
Yeah.
So now that we broke every science fiction movie possibility and every myth around it, some people around here in the audience might wonder, why are we exactly having master classes? You might wonder this. Well, it's to find your passion. And maybe if you are actually passionate into this topic that is technology, we can actually teach you more about it. So now that I'm here with you, sir, I'm going to ask for people that are willing to be interested in into this subject, how did you get into it? As in, what was your major in college and what studies did you pursue to be where you are at today?
Is this too personal of a question?
No.
Okay.
No.
Because it would be embarrassing.
Okay, so I have, like in my upbringing, started in a public school. Old school, public school.
Yeah.
Up until the Faculty of Sciences and Techniques. الكلية ديال التقنيات والعلوم التقنية. No, linguistic. So my major is biology. Yeah, it has nothing to do with it, right?
Yeah.
My major is biology, bioanalyse médicale. But I switched to business. Now I'm following to finish my MBA in the end of this year. Master's in Business Administration in Alberta University in Canada. But the field of technology is something that I lived with, like, as I was growing up. Like, I used to, have you ever, like, your parents got you something that you wondered how it works, so you break it open?
Yeah.
I was one of those kids. I used to do that. Like, whatever gift you bring me, I open it, open it and see how it works.
So you were actually interested in technology from a young
Curiosity.
age?
You can say that it's actually curiosity.
Yeah.
But later on, given the technology, I was able to learn in an autodidact way. I was able to, I can code HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Python, Scratch, whatever you think. So access to technology was through technology, actually. So you go to Google, something I don't know, I type it up, and I start. Everything is free. Elon Musk said this before, actually. I think it's not probably a good idea to say in a place like this, but
The schools don't even matter anymore.
it's not they don't matter. They are important because they teach particular virtues. But the same as everything that has an upside and a downside. Okay? Our critical thinking and our ways of thinking kind of gotten a little bit lower. And our mindset of memory and ability to kind of memorize things, how they are, it gets a little bit more stronger than that.
Okay.
So I think it's in a place like this, you should be able to find the balance between the ability to critically think, and memorize important information. So that's it.
Next question is, how can you describe technology?
That's
I didn't want to say in 3 words because that would be hard.
that's a vague question. In 3 words, how can I describe technology as in what? As in what it is to us as human beings?
Yeah.
Threat. It's a threat. I can't see it other than that. You can use it for a lot of good things, but we are developing it in such a pace that's scary. It is scary now. And by the way, you have to notice how its influence on our social life. Did you know that most, like 80% of the time, most of the problems between any kind of relationship, I don't know, man, husband and wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, friends, whatever, most of the problems are because of the phone.
Yeah.
Haven't you noticed that before? A man used to go to work, his wife would miss him, right?
Yeah.
He comes back from work, she misses him. Like there was a report there. Now you go out the door, come back here, you forgot your keys. Because you have a phone, she texts him. So it's a good use, but at the same time it's influencing our social life in a way that's not good. So we're heading, and particularly it's because of the use. We're using it, probably we're not using technology as well as we should. We should be using it better. I see it as a threat, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so to come back as to how to use it better, and something that you said in your speech really struck through, especially towards the end. You said the question, how to work artificial intelligence. And so this is the question that now I'm willing to ask you.
Well, it is kind of a process because you cannot work something that you don't understand. And philosophically speaking, human beings or Homo sapiens, they are afraid of things they do not understand. Say, for example, you see a bug that you've never seen before, like an insect that you haven't seen before. You get scared because you don't know what it's capable of. You don't know. So until you understand, your ability to understand, until you know what it is about, how it's going to benefit you, and the ways to minimize its side effects, then you can work it before it works you. Because right now, it's working us like crazy. We don't sleep because of our phones, of our computers. We don't sleep well. And even if you sleep early, you're not getting as much sleep as you should, or the quality of sleep, REM sleep, as you should. Because the electromagnetic field that your phone is actually letting out influences and doesn't let your neurons rest during the night, especially for the people who keep their phones next to their heads. Yeah. So that's you should be careful when it comes to that. So a way to kind of work this is to understand what it's capable of. It's capable of ruining my life, as it's capable of making my life much easier. Right now we're using things we do not understand. Have you ever cracked open a phone and seen what's inside?
I could never. I don't have the guts to do.
Probably they're lying to us. The thing is, we are putting too much confidence in people who sell us these things. Yeah. It's like, hey, here's a bomb, use it. You don't know what's inside, but you're gonna use it.
But they don't actually say that it's a bomb.
They say it's an iPhone.
They sugarcoat it, and they're like.
So it's marketing. So it's like that. So here's something that you can use that's gonna make your life better. How do I know that? Marketing. You find a girl, she's happy, she's taking pictures, she's this, she's that, and then it's sold. And then you use it. And then it's in your life. Now it's like a spy. A microphone. There's a microphone here, there's cameras, and people can hear what we're talking about right now, like right now.
Okay, that is true though, but my mom always used to say that to me, but I never believed her.
Here's the thing, I'm gonna ask you to go and watch a movie called Snowden.
Okay,
Snowden.
I will.
Okay? Go and watch Snowden. I'm pretty sure you're gonna be having bumper stickers on your phone, like on the front of your phone and your computer as well. You're gonna be like a.
Well then, Mom, if you're watching this, I believe you now.
Yeah, you should believe your mom. Your mom is right.
Okay, then I think the audience have some questions.
Yeah, sure.
Should I? Okay. I'm gonna come here and. Do you have a question? Does anyone have a question? Okay.
So hi, I believe you watched the movie Snowden, and I did as well. So in the movie, they say that Snowden shows that we should hide our cameras.
Yeah.
Because apparently we're always watched. Do you believe it's true?
I do believe it's true, actually. I think that there are people kind of watching us, watching our behavior, and not because they're interested in you particularly. They're interested in your way of impacting people around you. Because if I know exactly how you behave and what you want to do in your life, it's like I'm gathering information about you. I can do many things with that information. Because in this world right now, nowadays, in this time, it is nothing only about information. The government right now, can I ask, can you imagine if right now I tell you I have a super intelligent AI? Say for example, Morocco creates a super intelligent AI computer. Do you know the impact that that will have on the whole world? It's like you have 500,000 years
worth of information processing. You're going to be able to process information better than any country in the whole world. So that is a threat. So the reason why they need to watch you is because they need to watch how you behave around other people. So to answer your question, yes, I think it's true.
We have another person here.
Yeah, sure.
Hi, so it's not a question, but there's a thing on iPhones called live photos. So basically, you take a photo, and when you hold your screen, it gives you a video of the 3 seconds before you've taken the photo. But I've always wondered, how does it know that you want to take a photo? Why does the iPhone saves the 3 seconds before taking the photo, but you don't actually take the photo? You can not take the photo, just open the camera and just close it. But when you take a photo, a live photo, it gives you the 3 seconds before you've taken the photo. So it's saved.
I think it's a matter of how it was programmed, simply. Because everything works with a certain code. If you code something to do something, it will do it. Whether it doesn't matter time when it does it or it does not. It's simply about what you programmed it to do. Whether automatically, because automation exists now. Automatically, it can do it, of course. I spoke earlier about Face ID. Okay? Face ID. And hey, remember we spoke about the chip? Yeah. Do you know this gesture? And I want you to tell me where do you do it? Like this. Where do you do this?
Temperature?
Huh?
COVID.
Okay, now that there is nobody standing in front of me, do you feel like it's COVID? Or it's like scan me? Right? Yeah. It's like somebody is scanning something here.
Your code.
Your code. Yeah. Your barcode. Welcome to the future. So, yeah.
I think that is it. Thank you so much for
my
answering
pleasure.
our questions.
Thank you.
That has been such an honor. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure.
Yeah, I guess we're back with our musical performances that will make us once again travel to another new world full of imagination and more. And that will be a blessing to our ears. So please, everyone, welcome Ryan Hamraoui and Shad Ziati.
No time to regret. Kept his lips wet with his same old safe bet. And me in my head high, in my tears tried, get on without my guide. You went back to what you knew, so far remote from all that we went through. We only said goodbye with words I tied 100 times. You go back to her and I go back to. We only say goodbye with words I died 100 times. You go back to her and I go back to. I go back to us. Thank you.
So it's up to our next stage speaker who's going to talk about being special and how being different is what makes you unique. So please welcome at full volume Salman Kharbash.
Being special. How it sounds perfect, beautiful, and fascinating. Knowing what makes you special is one of the most incredible things that may happen to you in your life. It may, for sure I think, change your way of thinking, will make you more confident and more loved by yourself.
It will make you appreciate yourself way better and being sure that you are unique. Yeah, I've been thinking of that way before, way long, and especially during the quarantine. Now, hear me out. Last Monday, I figured out that my room was super messy. And if Mom sees the mess, she'll tell me the famous expression, "Does this room belongs to a girl, maybe?" Like, I know this in Arabic hits different, but I got nothing to do. So of course I cleaned up the mess when I suddenly found my quarantine to-do list. When I was reading it, I found an amazing thing. Find a way to be special. That I haven't checked it yet because I lost the paper, of course. I still remember when I wrote it. It was on May or April, maybe. I was laying on my bed as usual, thinking of what makes others that different, what makes them special. Having a silky, shiny hair, having a well-shaped body, having a strong personality, maybe. Or what makes girls attracted to that one boy? Maybe because he's tall, has curly hair, knows how to compliment. Like, come on girls, we all know those beauty standards. Or maybe he knows what makes him different from other boys. So at this point, I realize that I'm not special. Or maybe I am, but I haven't found that unique thing in me that makes me special. So I searched to know what does this mean. And what I found is being better, greater, or otherwise different from what is usual. I initiated thinking, what makes me different? What's that? What makes me different from what is usual? At first, I got nothing. But I continued. And what I like is that I have never lost hope. So I started thinking, maybe I'm just a girl who likes martial arts, who wanted to get every single belt in karate, and who ends up getting the brown belt. Maybe I'm just a girl who never dreamed of being able to ride a motorcycle, who ends up obsessed and in love with speed. Maybe I'm just a girl who does everything with passion and leaves it as soon as she lost interest. Maybe I'm just a girl who gained confidence even after being friends with toxic ones. So now I know that I'm special. And I also knew that not everybody in this earth will be able to notice that I am until they share with me the same passions that no person will get it better than I do. So it's your turn. You too as well. You can find that special thing on you. Don't worry, I have the secret. Try this very magical question. What makes me different? Try to answer. Like, I know it's hard, but try. Dig deep on your heart. Ask your close friend. But try to answer it. So, as I said, when you find what is special in you, you'll be more and more confident. And that's exactly what happened to me. I learned how to love myself, respect myself, impose myself, and how to let my voice be heard. As Jane Fonda said, the most incredible beauty and the most satisfying way of life comes from affirming your own uniqueness. Thank you.
She's known for her strong personality, for standing up for people's rights and defending them, for never letting her guards down, and for never letting someone hurt her for even a bit. I'm more than glad to have her in our club, and even more for having her talking about the patriarchy in Arab society, the gender discrimination and control applied on women, for being seen inferior and non-worthy for getting involved in social life. So I want you all to give the loudest welcome to this powerful girl, Salma Al-Mukhtatif.
Since the day we were born, since the first fine threads of sunlight hits our eyes, since we breathe those first atoms of oxygen, we're signing unconsciously our servitude contract. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, a contract which we didn't approve to, but we're forced to abide by its rules for being a woman, doing the normal function of any human being, breathing and existing. Those rules were put by a class of misogynist, sexist, and complex individuals. These lattice are consisted of the three golden etiquettes, which are: a woman's destiny is a housewife, a woman's duty is to submit to family's traditions and decisions, and last but not least, women don't deserve an education equal to men. Sounds quite familiar, isn't it? Well, yeah, let's all applaud and welcome very cheerfully the Arab society's mindset. In traditional Arab societies, and for decades, man and woman have been restrained within patriarchal systems, oppressing and normalizing gender discrimination behaviors and initiating a line of male dominance to abolish females' potentials and powers in the name of family's honor and cultural norms. And while urbanization and the development of human rights became the standards of many domains in the Arab world, on the other hand, females' right and self-actualization seems to remain the missing page of the book. So now, let me enlighten your curiosity more about that. In such culture, a woman's freedom is tied up within sexist restrictions, with man holding on those threads to dictate rules over her life and control her like a puppet, making her abide to a very limited life with no space for her choices, and where her needs and desires are seen and worthy, if they're not linked to marriage and family, of course. Not only that, but also where her value as a human being with feelings equals nothing in front of the purity of her body. A culture that forbids female development and awareness and crushes her femininity and personality to offer her as a servant, and where she's being belittled and infantilized to keep instilling that fear within her under pretext of family knows the best, when in reality it's just a sugarcoat of the fact that they view her as a threat to their reputation and associate shame with every act she does. From our childhood, we've been receiving an education very similar to programming, where they insert us with commands based on fear, weakness, and body sexualization, so we can always live under the mercy of their desires and remain silent about that injustice because we think that's what we deserve. From my personal experience, when I'm talking to older people about my ambitions and goals, as well as my morals and values as a future independent woman who stands for her rights, all I see in their eyes is nothing but pure disappointment, the failure of the project of a good woman. But on the other hand, when I talk about how good I can cook or clean, or even how I can bear up with cheating, domestic and sexual violence, to keep my family together, all I see in their eyes is nothing but pure pride, the success of the project of a good woman. Moreover, this mindset of misogyny and patriarchy has spread in the Arab world, not only because of a corrupted mentality and a bad upbringing, but also due to the marginalized image of the woman that was seen inferior and eligible of a high-quality education, which made them go even further and restrict certain subjects from her learning process in the past, such as technology and robotics, and made her suffer from educational discrimination, injustice, and illiteracy for years. Also, the lack of engagement of women in such technological fields is explained by gender role stereotypes. Historically speaking, men have dominated these demands, have always dominated these demands, and it is shown through his given more advantage across curriculum subjects. Even if school tried to educate about diversity and raise that gap, but these stereotypes remain because they were deep-rooted from generations. Whether it's in school or family, the devaluation of the educational and professional potentials of a woman were always manifested in our educations in form of personality traits. As women are expected, for example, to be shy and gentle and emotional, while men are expected to be intelligent and aggressive, which make them assume our professional occupations and shape us through our lives based on that. But now, thanks to globalization and the rise of awareness upon society's individuals, as well as the female empowerment movements, women's true potentials are unlocked, and now their voices are being heard and recognized next to man in such high-level specializations. My friends, Arabs have a rejection for unusual woman because it is hard to control her when she's fully aware of the power she holds and when she no longer cares about conformity. So tragically sad, yet so undeniably true. Thank you.
I do hate goodbyes, but I think this brings us to the end. And what's a better way to end our afternoon other than having an ensemble performance? They're more than talented, amazing, wonderful, basically every compliment that exists in our world. And we're more glad to have them perform here once again. So please give a very, very huge welcome to our band, Sami Aitufqir, Raya Al-Hamrawi, Shahd Ziyati, and Awa Badmo.
I got you, baby. So baby, I don't need dollar bills to have